When Leslie Gilliams walked into the Masterchef kitchen during season 5, he immediately stood out, and not in the way most contestants want to. At 56 years old, Leslie was significantly older than many of his competitors. He wasn't a professional chef, wasn't chasing a restaurant empire, and didn't come in with a tragic backstory designed for television. He was a stay-at-home dad from Malibu who loved cooking and wasn't shy about saying so.
And things are good, I can't complain. I'd be a fool if I did. When you're hot, and I'm hot. I'm gonna make this happen.
From the very beginning, Leslie's personality became his defining trait. He was confident, sometimes blunt, often loud, and completely unapologetic.
Okay. What's the secret behind this steak frit?
A lot of love and the secret butter sauce on top.
Do you want to look away?
No, why should I?
You confident?
Oh yeah.
He wasn't shy about correcting teammates, questioning decisions, or voicing frustration when things weren't done properly. To some contestants, this came off as arrogance. To others, it was simply intensity. And to the audience, it made him unforgettable. Early in the season, Leslie was portrayed as abrasive and impatient, especially in team challenges. He frequently clashed with younger contestants and had little tolerance for disorganization. His now iconic demands for communication, often delivered at full volume, became a defining trait.
Okay, because that's what teenagers do. Okay, so grow up and grow some balls.
It's because you mispronounced my name. And
Well, I'm sorry.
You know
I'm
what? No, that's the
apologize.
thing.
I don't know how else to put sorry. S-O-R-R-Y, that's
down.
sorry.
You're not sorry at all. You're being really.
But what complicated the narrative was this: Leslie could cook. While some outspoken contestants flame out quickly, Leslie didn't. He survived challenge after challenge, often delivering solid, well-executed dishes. Over time, his technical ability began to speak louder than his personality.
They're like a vintage, delicious donut. I mean, how do you make a donut that delicious without even having a filling in there? The topping is zesty, vibrant.
I guess I'm good at winging it. I don't know.
Right now,
One of the most surprising developments of the season was Leslie's evolving relationship with Aran Cho. Early on, the two butted heads constantly, with Leslie's bluntness and Aran's frustration creating tension. But as the competition progressed, their relationship softened into something resembling a father-daughter dynamic.
the person leaving tonight is Aran.
I kind of felt that bond. You know, maybe it's me missing my own daughter. I really, honestly learned to care for this person.
That shift mattered. It showed a side of Leslie the audience hadn't seen yet. Someone capable of growth, humility, and emotional connection. And as that side emerged, public opinion began to change. Suddenly, Leslie wasn't just the angry old guy. He was a fighter. One of the most impressive aspects of Leslie's run on Masterchef was his resilience. Throughout Season 5, Leslie faced more pressure tests than any other contestant. 6 in total. In Masterchef, pressure tests are where contestants go when they fail a challenge and are at risk of elimination. They're designed to expose weaknesses and crack confidence.
It's very good. It's moist. I like the addition of the pistachios. I thought I wouldn't. Certainly not Daniel.
Oh, no, none of them up there. What, are you kidding me?
Why is it that there's such antagonism towards you, Leslie?
You want to know what? I don't know.
What's so funny?
I just love how he doesn't even see his own mistakes and why everybody doesn't like him.
Leslie didn't crack. Again and again, he stepped into elimination challenges and cooked his way out. Each survival reinforced the idea that he wasn't just lucky, he was capable under extreme stress. This became a recurring theme of his season. Even when he stumbled, Leslie fought back. And by the time the competition reached its later stages, he was no longer an underdog. He was a legitimate contender. At that point, viewers were split. Some still disliked his personality and felt he was condescending. Others saw him as one of the most consistent chefs left in the competition. Someone who had earned his place through persistence rather than favoritism. Either way, one thing was clear. Leslie was not supposed to go quietly. As the competition reached the semi-final stage, expectations were high. Leslie had proven himself repeatedly and was only one challenge away from the finale. That challenge involved baking. Dessert challenges have always been dangerous territory on Masterchef, especially for contestants who lean more towards savory cooking. Baking requires precision, chemistry, and exact measurements, a different skill set than improvisational cooking. Leslie was tasked with making a cake, specifically a Boston cream-style dessert. And according to the judges, this is where everything went wrong.
Leslie, visually incredible, whilst tasting the sponge. You know what's wrong with that sponge. You put the salt in place of the sugar.
When the cake was tasted, the judges claimed it was overwhelmingly salty. After questioning Leslie, they concluded that he had mistakenly used salt instead of sugar, a fundamental baking error. That decision eliminated him from the competition. Just like that, Leslie Gilliams was out.
I'm the stay-at-home dad that came here to win, and I was doing a pretty damn good job up until the salt part. Outside of getting married and having my children being born, this has to be one of those great things in my life that I will remember forever.
For many viewers, the shock wasn't that he made a mistake. It was the type of mistake. Because using salt instead of sugar isn't a small slip. And that's where the controversy truly begins. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying this breakdown and want more deep dives into reality TV controversies, competition shows, and internet debates, make sure to subscribe. It helps the channel more than you think, and you won't miss future videos like this one. Now, back to Leslie. To understand why Leslie's elimination became so controversial, you have to understand baking. Sugar is not optional in cake. It doesn't just add sweetness. It affects structure, moisture, browning, and texture. Replacing sugar with salt in a full quantity should produce something close to inedible. This image shows what a no-sugar cake looks like compared to a sugar cake, and we can see the no-sugar one is dense, flat, dry, harsh. Yet when Leslie's cake was shown on screen, it looked fine. It rose. It held its shape. It didn't visibly collapse. And that's what set the internet on fire. Almost immediately after the episode aired, fans began questioning what they had seen. Bakers pointed out that a cake made with salt instead of sugar should show obvious physical signs of failure. Others noticed that the judges didn't react the way you'd expect to a truly salt-heavy dessert, and this led to many theories. I was recently re-watching the season, and in one of the final episodes, Leslie somehow uses salt instead of sugar in his cake. Is there any video evidence of Leslie doing this? What do you think? Do you think the producers intentionally fixed it so as to eliminate Leslie? It seems very, very suspicious a finalist would make such an error. None of this was proven, but the doubts never went away. Adding fuel to the fire was the fact that earlier in the season, other contestants had produced dishes that were criticized for excessive salt without being eliminated outright.
They're salty. That's seriously salty. Please tell me you didn't put salt in place of sugar.
That is a mistake. I did not purposely put more salt in there.
I can tell you it tastes weird.
To many fans, this made Leslie's exit feel inconsistent. And Leslie himself didn't exactly close this case. Years after MasterChef, Leslie addressed the infamous cake in interviews, including his appearance with YouTuber Quinn69. What made his comments so compelling wasn't anger or bitterness. It was uncertainty. Leslie openly admitted that he still doesn't fully understand what happened. He stated that he tasted the cake and didn't believe it was overwhelmingly salty. He also emphasized that he never knowingly substituted salt for sugar.
Did you actually put salt in your little cake thing there?
To this day, I still don't know. And I mean that honestly. I'm not saying it because I don't want to answer it. But when I tasted the cake tasted fine to me. But in the end, the rules are of the MasterChef kitchen is the judges have the final say, and when they say it, that's it. You're done.
His honesty kept the controversy alive. Rather than rewriting history, Leslie leaned into the ambiguity. He acknowledged his weaknesses in baking, admitted mistakes were possible, but stopped short of confirming the narrative presented on the show. That refusal to oversimplify the situation only made the story more compelling. Despite not winning the competition, Leslie's popularity grew after the show. In some international fan communities, particularly in Southeast Asia, Leslie became a cult figure, often affectionately referred to as the Silver Fox. Memes, jokes, and symbolic references to salt followed him for years. Leslie didn't win MasterChef, but he left a bigger mark than most winners ever do. And sometimes that's more memorable than a trophy.